Hey, what's going on, everybody? You guys are checking out episode number 156 of the Hoop Doctors podcast. Of course, I go by the name of Kevin Burke. What's wrong with LeBron? No, I mean, seriously, there's something going on with LeBron James. He's not his normal self. And if you're a LeBron fan and you don't agree with that, I think you're lying to yourself. I mean, yeah, he had a triple-double. Another near triple-double. You know, he's going to stuff the stat sheet every night. That's what he does. He is a monster. But he's not playing like his old self, particularly around the basket. The LeBron that we've come to know, when he gets near the basket, he tries to finish above the rim. This year, everything around the basket is below the rim. He's not trying to overpower guys to dunk on them or at least get to the free throw line. Now he's for whatever reason, he's finishing below the rim, trying to finesse guys, trying to go around them, a scoop shot, trying to maneuver them. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the weight loss thing, if it's jitters because of his return to Cleveland. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely different, and it's not like we saw at the beginning of his time in Miami 4 years ago. That nervousness was a little different. If you watch LeBron over the years, like I know you have to realize this guy is not necessarily being the over-the-top finisher around the rim like he has been. Again, I don't know if it's the weight loss. I don't know what it is, but something is definitely going on. And the Cavs, slow start, of course you can't put that on him. They're going to turn this around. Again, like I said, he's stuffing the stat sheet. I'm just really nitpicking this game because he's LeBron James and he's something to talk about. But a few years ago when the Heat were 9-8, they turned it around. LeBron's first year in Miami. So if you're a Cavs fan, I wouldn't be too worried about this slow start. But the injury to Dellavedova, that certainly doesn't help. Kobe Bean Bryant has missed the most shots in NBA history. He recently passed John Havlicek for that dubious distinction. Now, obviously, you got to be pretty good to break a record like this. That's pretty impressive. I mean, 19 years in the league. You have to take a lot of shots to miss a lot of shots, right? That's obvious. I get it. The list of the top 20 players on that all-time missed shots list, no surprise, they're either all Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers, okay? You have to have had a pretty solid career to miss more than 10,000 shots. A side note, Kobe obviously has always been compared, in his prime anyway, compared to MJ. Kobe and MJ, just a quick little side note, Kobe and MJ have taken almost exactly the same amount of field goals in their careers, and Kobe has missed roughly 1,000 more than MJ. Do what you want with that number, I'm just saying. And Kobe was asked, the game where he broke this record, he was asked, are there any shots that you would take back, any missed shots that you would have taken back in your career? And he said in typical Kobe manner, he said, I'm paraphrasing here, I would take back the shots where I had to bail out the team at the end of a shot clock. He said it with, kind of a slight grin, but that he was being serious because there's truth in jest, and this is Kobe Bryant. I don't like that response because what he constantly does is put down his teammates. He sometimes comes across as a terrible teammate. I get it. He has 5 rings and all that. I understand. But things like this you don't need to say because what you're saying is I play with a bunch of bums and I had to bail them out. And I don't agree with that because if you can think back to that season where he averaged 35 points a game, maybe the 07, I think it was the 07-08 season, that was some of the most unnecessary basketball I have ever seen. Dude was just chucking and taking so many unnecessary and ill-advised shots that season. I remember a play clearly in one of his runs where it was one of that. Remember that in that season he had a streak of 9 consecutive games of 40 points or more, and in that I think there were like 4 games of 50 or more, if I'm not mistaken. This is off the top of my head. I remember he was, unintentionally freezing out guys. I remember Robert Horry was clapping for the ball at the top of the key, and Kobe looked him off and took a shot with like 3 guys on him. I remember Horry ran down court with his head hung down. So the point of all that is You've taken a lot of ill-advised shots that you didn't necessarily need to. So I don't think you can, Kobe, blame having bum teammates for you missing more shots than anybody in NBA history. But again, congratulations on that record. A torn ACL, a torn meniscus, a rolled ankle, and now a bad hamstring. I mean, was that bad karma for Derrick Rose, who initially stated a few days ago that when he sits out games, he's not just thinking about today or tomorrow. He's thinking about long term because he doesn't want to be, quote, in meetings sore. You know, he has to go to his son's graduation in the future, and he wants to be able to walk to his son's graduation. You know, I get all that. When he first said that, you know, he created headlines, and there was a lot of backlash. And I personally don't think he's the most well-spoken guy. So I was trying to clarify it for people. I said, you know, he's not saying that he misses games when he's healthy just for the sake of missing games when he's healthy because he wants to be healthy in the future. I don't think that's what he was saying. I think he was saying initially, again, that when he is out, he's not going to cry about it because he knows that long term it's going to do wonders for his, you know, extended health. But then a few days later, he didn't do himself any favors when he said, yeah, when he was asked about the backlash and the negative, you know, press that his comments made, he didn't do himself any favors when he said, quote, I could care less what people say about me sitting out. That's when I stepped back and I said, you know what, Derrick, I'm not defending you anymore because you really said that out loud. The first comment, again, was kind of a head scratcher. And for you to say this, listen, you're on your own. He went from being, you know, a sympathetic figure, oh, poor Derrick Rose, another injury. Now he's a villain with things like this because talk radio, you know, all over the country is picking up on this. And guys aren't even necessarily NBA fans, just general sports fans, you know, NFL guys. They're talking about this because it paints athletes, you know, I'm making a broad brush statement here. It paints athletes kind of in a negative life, negative lights, pardon me. I think he could have reworded that, but that's truly how he feels. He's saying now he doesn't care what you want to tweet about him. He doesn't care what you want to post on Facebook about him, what kind of conversation you want to have with your friends at lunch. He does not care. First of all, he has $2 more than God. Secondly, again, he wants to be able to go to meetings and not be sore. That's what's important to him. He doesn't want to have to limp to a meeting when he's 47 years old, okay? So, I mean, it is what it is. Do I agree with what he said? No. I think it's a stupid comment to say out loud, but what are you going to do? He said it. It is what it is. So, Bulls fans, I don't know. Are you riding with this guy still, or are you not? Who knows what this latest injury is? How long will he be out? I can see a future ESPN 30 for 30 about what Derrick Rose's career could have been because he's going down that Penny Hardaway, my favorite player in NBA history. He's going down that Penny Hardaway and Grant Hill path, and it's sad to see. But that's all I got. I'm getting choked up here. I'm a little under the weather. Podcast number 156 in the books. I'll check you guys out next week. Be good.